Well, howdy-ho there, neighbors. We are getting ready to send the IROC, the old mullet machine, to go get the top put on her tomorrow. So we're trying to wrap up a few things, and we have like really one bigger-ish thing to do, and that's to fix the slop in the steering column, because we just put the muffler on it. And this is the cherry bomb muffler. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to do two things in this video. Did you notice how this car is like elevated and such? Yep. Lug nut, we got our lift up, buddy. To everybody else that said, why don't you buy a lift? I did. I finally got it up. Thank you to my best bud Travis and Clayton, my nephew, your nephew, whoever's nephew. So we finally got it up. I wired it up like last week or so, and we finally have a working lift, as you can see. Which maybe I should tell you like this also. We're going to do two things in this episode. We're going to hear how a cherry bomb exhaust works, muffler sounds on an IROC Z, and placement of your lift. I don't mind telling you, I may have made a boo-boo, sort of. More like in the layout of my garage, I made a boo-boo. Because this thing, you can't really turn into it too well, because I have, you know, all of this going on. My garage is extremely crowded right now. I'm 100% sure once I start moving stuff around, I'll be able to like drive right into it. But right now I don't. And the reason why I put the lift here is honestly because all this stuff's here. I'm not gonna lie. Eventually there's gonna be a loft up here, and you know, just store all kinds of stuff you just don't want to throw away. Every guy knows what I'm talking about when I say that. You want to keep it, you know, because that's why. So this exhaust, it is a budget exhaust. I got the tailpipes and the cat back pipe from the Amazonian site. I got the muffler itself from the Evil Bay. Let me show you this too. As far as placement on the lift, guys, if you haven't laid out your garage, placing a lift might be a little tricky, because you might not know you're going to hog up like 5 foot off your wall. See all this? This is 5 foot off of my wall. And I put a line right there. So that is where I wanted the front bumper, and look where she is. She's right there. So if this car is all the way down, I can still walk in front of the car. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to walk in front of the car with it on the hoist, or with it in this bay at least, all the way down. Because it's really annoying not to be able to get to your stuff, like where the gold chariot's sitting there, you know. If you can't walk in front of it, it's just a big nuisance, okay? Now, the reason why I placed it here is because if I placed it right there in the center, I block where the 66 is, I block this, and I block the 69. You know what I mean? So, I mean, these posts here are 145 inches apart. Now, well, not really. To the back, you're going to want to measure it out like very, very good. And before you drill them holes, measure it again. Also, what else? This was a used lift. I got it from a really good guy on the Craig's marketplace. And he helped me take it down and everything. I hate to say this, brother, but we did not snap a cable. Instead, if you guys are hip to these lifts at all, it has little arms in here, like to where the cable slides through and slides. Yeah. Well, we bent the ever-loving heck out of it. So I had to come up with a way to unbend it within the arm, which was, how do you say, completely tricky. I used a piece of all thread, 2 pieces of metal, and I was going to show you guys, and I constantly lose stuff, so that's part of me, and I love it. And actually, yeah, we are getting to work actually through the daylight today, because this thing's going to the upholsterer as soon as I get off work tomorrow. Man, I can't believe I lost that. There it is. So this is what I had to do. You see this? This had to fit in a certain spot. I had to guess roughly how much room I had to work with. This fit up on top of the plate. And yeah, I tightened this down, which pulled this, double nutted that, and it bent it back up. I lucked out. If it wouldn't have, I don't know how in the world I would have done it. So that's one thing, okay? But as far as placement on your lift, oh, I didn't have to buy a cable. So he cut me a good deal, because we both honestly thought we snapped a cable. We didn't. But he had to get rid of it anyway, so, you know, it helped him, it helped me. So hopefully everything's still good. I'm sorry, man, we used like a 47 leaf spring to do all of this to get it down. It was a sight to behold, just saying. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for helping me get that down and on my car trailer. You are a lifesaver, and I really appreciate it. And I apparently have a heck of a lift, and I really, really, really do enjoy you being, and thank you for being honest. So, and not often you have that happen on the marketplace or Craigslist or in person or what have you. So thank you again. But I'm gonna get this car down. And you see, I also have walk space. I'm sorry, my ADD is like working full tilt. If I had all this crap out of the way, I would have a walk space on the side as well. Again, measure off your wall, measure over there, so make sure you're not blocking that bay. Also, when this car is fully down, I can still pull a car in behind it, because there's enough room. And even with the 66 there's enough room if I pull the car in from here to here. And actually, there's still enough room to pull stuff forward or whatever you need to do. So that's another thing you're going to want to do as far as your lift placement. Where can it benefit you the most? My tire machine's right here. Balancer right there. If I decide I need to do tires, boom. Granted, I have wheels and more wheels than cars right now. I don't know really what's going on. It's craziness, I tell you. But should we listen to the IROC and the old mullet machine, see what she says? Why not? All right, give me a few seconds to lower this. It's going to take me 2 hands, so here in a second we'll hear the old beast fire up. Sound good? Just give me 1 minute. Well, guys, what I'm going to go into, I'm hitting on a lot of stuff. I even had to come back today because I forgot to tell you one of the most important parts. I told you 5 foot off the wall, or I'm going to get to 5 foot off the wall, right? As far as your lift placement, okay, this, as you can see, the bigger nosed cars that you have, the more distance you're going to need. Now, how did I know where this was going to end up on the car? Well, I went to actually 3 of my own, maybe 4 of my own personal cars. I measured from the front bumper to about mid-door, because I figured that is ideally where that post is going to hit, right? Of course. And I got around a ballpark estimate of about 7 to 7.5 foot. This one may have been 6. One of them was 6. I can't remember. It may have been the S10. Anyway, but that right there is 7 foot roughly off of that line, the 5 foot mark. So measure there. I went 7 foot back, and that'll tell you where you want to put your lift, also with the coordinates of where it's going to land on the car. I'm very happy with where I picked mine because it lands exactly where I thought it would, and my nose is pretty much exactly where I thought it would be. I still have walking room in front, just like I mean, here I am, and there's the car. So if I need to walk around front, grab something over here on the desk for whatever reason, I can do it. But I just want to throw that out there. Don't be afraid to buy a used lift. Just inspect the cables and stuff. If they're all rusty and cruddy and look frayed, be afraid to buy it. But mainly, that's what I wanted to tell you, because I knew I was forgetting something. Also, do yourself a favor. If you're installing this lift, one, at least watch some videos. I purposely did not show installing the installation video, because I've never done it. I know I haven't done like 97% of the stuff before I do it on the show, but a lift to me is something different. I'd prefer that if you watched a professional do something like that. Also, order good anchor bolts. They sell those on the Amazonian site. Bin Pack, the company, sell those on there. You can get them on the eBay too. So get a good quality one. Don't skimp around whenever it comes to those. That could be your life underneath this car. Do you really want to trust it to some bargain bolts? I wouldn't. But anyway, let's see what else I say after this, because you know, this is the day after I recorded the video. Okay? All right, so that took like 30 seconds and we haven't fired it up. I'm really saving this for all of us. So let's just see what we got here. I know one thing we have is a working tach, so that's pretty nice. Always make sure she's out of gear. It's a little quieter than what it almost sounds just slightly louder than stock, which I'm not crazy about. I guess that's okay. Well, it sounds a little bit. It's slightly louder than stock, but I guess I've always had this car and it's always been loud. So maybe I'm not used to it yet. I don't know. It's definitely a lot quieter. I don't really want to rev on it too much while it's cold, because, you know, read somewhere like that's horrible. And actually, free revving a motor is horrible for them. It doesn't sound horrible, and the good thing is I don't hear any exhaust leaks, so I mean, it's not horrible inside the car. I guess we're just gonna... Okay, that sounds good. That's not stock at all. We're gonna have to hit the like button. I'm gonna put you guys back there and you guys can hear it. How's that sound? Yeah, let's do that. Because, woo, yep, she definitely ain't been driven for a while. Woo, got the old cloud of smoke going. All right, guys, ignore the smoke, okay? Here we go. First sound test, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this puppy definitely needs driven. You can smell the gas. This stuff is just... This gas is a couple years old, for real. But I mean, it seems to be mixing right, because looky there, we got water off the tailpipe. And that is a good show that it's a good air fuel mixture, if you guys didn't know that. So that's a good sign. And another good sign is it actually does sound really good. It kind of idles really quiet though. I don't know. It's going to take me a second to get used to it. The oil pressure gauge still hasn't come around yet, and that didn't work. So It could be a bad oil sending unit. It could be a stuck gauge. I'll tell you the truth, that gauge hasn't moved since I got the car. Since I put these set of gauges in, let me say that. I probably should have physically moved the gauge just to like unstick it. I didn't. But that's okay. We're gonna call this a victory. It don't sound bad. I believe the brake light is on because of the proportioning valve, I believe. Because it actually stops, and it stops very well. We may try to bleed them again. Probably after we come back, I'm not gonna lie, because it has excellent brakes. I'm not worried about the brakes. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but we got front ones, you know. I'll be driving this, the wife will be driving, you know, something a lot more safe. So that's okay. We are going to get this thing ready to get outside. That way, so tomorrow we can just take her to the upholsterer and be done. But guys, I'm gonna have to say, like button on the daggone Cherry Bomb muffler. I think that's 80s nostalgia all the way. I personally don't care for the original sound of a not a Flowmaster, a Cherry Bomb, but these sound, I like these. It's better than stock, I promise you. And I'm gonna say it might be better than a Flowmaster. And this muffler was a 70 bucks, I think, with shipping. And a Flowmaster for one of these, I think, is 140. Maybe more than that with the inflation. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna say yes to that. And the mullet machine, she sounds better. We're getting so daggone close to something else. That's right. We will be starting on that one very soon. That's going to be started, and we're going to start on this one. We're going to start on the 66 at the same time. Whenever we run out of parts on this, boom, go to that. And we're probably going to squeeze in the little sissy truck too, just because I don't have enough to do. So, but first we got to do the 5.3 breakdown. I did find a cam for it, the perfect cam that I want, and stay tuned for that one, because that's going to be really good. I cannot wait to install that cam and actually hear that sucker run. It's going to take you back to that old school sound, you know, like back when these cars were on the road and driven daily, that kind of sound. So guys, gals, that's how I did my placement on the lift. Like I say, you could have put it right here, but I was worried because I didn't have enough front space, and my lift would end up being about right here, which would block this, block that, and block that. I want as much use out of my shop that I can. Okay, so here's the truth. Right now, this is so tight with everything in here. I'm using car dollies to get it into its spot. Yes, car dollies. But it's a lot better than not using my lift, because those suckers skate so good. You can get them at Harbor Freight. No, they are not cheap. Even the cheap ones, which those ones are not cheap. So you can use a jack if you need to, if you know, whatever. And maybe you can find some used on the old marketplace or something. You know, somebody's always got something for sale, right? Or you can use the cheaper ones that I have, like this. These are the steel ones. I mean, it's more work because these ones have a jack made in them. You just slide them under, jack them up, slide them. Those ones you have to manually jack the car up with a jack, slide them under, move the car around, set it back down, or jack the car back up, pull the things, and it's a little more work, but it's whatever your budget fits, whatever you need to work to make it work. And we're going to be really excited to get this car back. I cannot wait to see it with a brand new top. We can finally park it outside, and we got one more thing that we're definitely doing, and that's slopping the steering column. And that may be it for this one for a while, because then we're going to start to enjoy this car. We're going to take him out. We're going to enjoy him. We're going to see how dependable it is. I know we did the dependability test, but We still have to sand it down. I think we're going to sand it with the 1500, 2000. We might try that. I've never done it before in my life, so we may just try it on this one. There's some blemishes that I want to get out of it. And then we're going to hockey stripe it. So I'm not going to show that only because I've showed in the past how to do the decals like on hoods and stuff. It's the exact same premise, different part. You know what I mean? So guys, I hope this helped, and I appreciate every daggone one of you for hitting the old like, subscribe, and sharing. I really appreciate it. You don't have any idea. Every week my wife laughs at me because I say, hey, I got another one. I got another subscriber. This guy said this guy said that helped him. I love hearing that. Thanks for your guys' feedback. I appreciate it. So if you don't mind, can I just, you know, like get the old hitting like, subscribe button? I'd appreciate the heck out of it. Thanks for watching. You guys are making it awesome for me. Hopefully I'm making it good for you. And you guys have a great weekend. It's getting a heck of a lot better. We'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV.